how to keep chickens for basically free. So I currently don't have a chicken coop because I haven't built one yet. So this is a good example of kind of just the bare minimum of what chickens need. Obviously, my chickens are in a very big barn. It has an upstairs. But chances are you don't have a barn. So I'm just going to give you kind of a rundown of what you need if you're keeping chickens for free. They need some sort of a shelter. The shelter does not have to be expensive. The shelter can be made for basically just scraps and pieces. Oh, look. Also, if you don't have a chicken coop, you will get eggs all over the place in random spots. Let me just, excuse me, I'll just take that. Thank you, ladies. They need a water source. It doesn't have to be something like this. You can just literally have a dog bowl that you fill with water if you need to. They need a spot to lay eggs. Obviously, they will lay eggs on the ground if they need to, but I have used upcycled things. I'll show you. The barn had a bunch of random things, including a bunch of drawers and cupboards and cabinets and stuff. And I kept a bunch of drawers that I fill with hay, and I use them as nest boxes. Obviously, when I build my coop, I'm going to repaint these, make it all cute and pretty and stuff. But right now, I don't have that built, so I'm just using things like this. You could use totes, use baskets, anything that they can kind of nest into that's got some sides will work for chickens. My hen's favorite spot to lay eggs is under these stairs. Hello, darling. So I get a lot of eggs under the stairs. They also need access to sunlight. They need the vitamins from the sun, but they also need the sunlight to lay eggs. It will allow their body to actually lay eggs, because they don't lay eggs if they don't have enough sunshine, which you can artificially do with lights, but I feel like it's best for them to get actual sunlight. I'm going to show you a really easy way to make a chicken coop if you want to make one. You could also even just go onto like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever you find cheap things on. Even buy like an old dog house and keep chickens in an old dog house. But I'll show you what I did for my geese. That's actually pretty simple. The geese have oh my goodness. The geese have free range right now, but I'll show you their house. Excuse me, sheepies. Hello, darlings. Okay, this is currently the goose house. Okay, so this, I did not build this. My husband didn't build this. This we got from Costco as a box pallet. Sometimes big stores like that have weird pallet type structures to ship things, and this one was a box, and we put plywood on all sides of that box. So I just had to haul the wood crate, basically a pallet box, and then I put plywood around it. And this would make a good chicken house. I'd put a front on this if I was using it for chickens and a little door. But geese are pretty hardy and they don't like to be confined. So the geese only come in here to lay eggs and then they go about their business. But something like this, oh, we also did put these this, and we made a pitch so that things would come off the roof. I also need to put an actual roof on it, but I haven't yet. But that's an example of something you can do for basically just the price of a piece of plywood to put together a house. If you can get creative and find places that have stuff like this. If I was also doing this for chickens, I would make sure, oh, there's a chicken egg back there. I'll have to climb in there and grab that. Nice. If I was doing chickens, I would put some sort of roost across, okay? Another cheap way to do that is the way I have. I have gotten tree branches, or I've gotten live Christmas trees from friends and cut all the branches off of it and used the trunk to make chicken roosts, because at night chickens will roost on something. So I would hook this across the inside so that it gives them something to roost on at night, because chickens roost at night, and where they roost is where they poop. So be aware of that when you have chickens. Make sure your roost is not like right at your door. You're going to be stepping in poop all the time. Okay. This was a lot harder to climb into than I was expecting it to be. Okay. Yay, chicken egg. These are worth their weight in gold right now, apparently. Okay, never do what I'm doing and putting your eggs in your pockets. You will break eggs and then you have a disaster in your pockets. Okay, so that's a super cheap way to make a chicken coop. Your chicken coop is made, you have places for them to get sunshine, you have a home that you can shut them in so predators don't eat them. You have a bowl of some kind, like a dog bowl, for food and for water. You can buy this, I'll show you. I buy these layer crumbles. I feed in these metal trash cans so that rodents can't get to them from the bottom. You give them a scoop of layer feed in there. You want to make sure they kind of have free access to feed. You can buy a bag like this. It, depending on how many chickens you have, will determine how fast it goes. You can have a really cheap house for them, either a dog house or like a pallet house, or you could even just get 4 pallets and basically make the 3 walls of the house and 1 for the roof. And then you want either some sort of run. You let them out, they'll be loose. But chickens like to roost back at night in a place that's familiar. If you have a place that you can shut them in and that they can kind of associate that this has food, this has water, this is a safe spot, and when you open the door, they will tend to come back at night on their own. Once they've decided that's where they want to sleep at night, that's where they'll come back to every night. And so you don't have to really worry about gathering up your chickens at night. They'll just put themselves to bed. So put some baskets in, and they can have a spot to lay eggs. Roosts, not over the eggs, because they poop wherever they roost at night. And then just chicken feed. Chickens are such easy animals to keep. They really are. And especially if you have space and they can just go out into the yard and scratch around. It's really good for them. I would also recommend that when you fill their nest boxes, you get some alfalfa hay. This was a 100-pound bale of hay. I do not recommend that you get a 100-pound bale of hay, because if you're keeping chickens, you do not need that much hay. Just get a little bale of hay. This one cost me a lot because I'm in the desert, so this one cost me $28 for 100 pounds. But even so, just get a small bale of alfalfa and line their nest boxes with it, because alfalfa is something that if they nibble on the alfalfa, it actually helps prevent them from getting egg-bound, which is kind of exactly what it sounds like. An egg gets stuck in the pathway and they can't get it out. And if they stay egg-bound, they die because they can't have an egg stuck in the path. So alfalfa is kind of a thing that helps naturally kind of prevent some of that. So if you fill their boxes with alfalfa or with herbs of some kind, it can just help improve their overall health. But that's pretty much it. Chickens are pretty easy. Commercial feeds have all the things that they need. You can also get like oyster shells ground up. What I always do is I save all of the egg shells when I crack open to cook an egg, and then I just let them dry out, the eggshells dry out, and crumble them all up into really small crumbles, and then I just give them a little tray, like a pie tin, and I just feed them back those eggshells, and that gives them the same extra boost. Chicks are a little bit harder because you have to keep them warm, which if you do that kind of a thing, that route of buying baby chicks, you just need to make sure that they also have a heat source so that they don't get cold until they have adult feathers instead of their cute fluff. But keeping chickens is really easy. Egg prices are really high, and it's not a hard thing. You can really put together a pretty cheap chicken coop. Whatever the cost of plywood is in your area, you can put together a chicken coop. You can also go to secondhand stores and pick up a basket for $5 and put it in there as their nest box. They can be done very cheaply. So good luck, friends. I hope that if you're struggling and you need a source for eggs, that you would think about getting even just a couple chickens. I'd recommend getting at least 3 as your minimum number of chickens. Good luck. Stay warm, stay fed.